The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is All Things Elite. Welcome back to All Things Elite. Load up the pod, man, it's on when we speak. Rich right here, let me warm it up for Austin and Floyd. Couldn't be no one but the boys. When it come to All Things Elite from the fan perspective, swear, man, it ain't no question. Hear from them first. Swear, man, they putting in the work. No, they had to get me for the verse. Social Suplex Network's on. Hours at a time in your headphones. Austin and Floyd on the microphone. Backing out on the rant, getting in the zone. Pulling up the show, give it 7 stars, you already know. Who else could it be but the show with the proclivity for positivity? I'm gone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 310th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with the proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Sumwitz. I'm the host of this lovely show. Joining with me, as always, is my good buddy and friend, Mr. Floyd Johnson Jr., my man. How are you doing?
Dude, I am doing amazing. This is one of the few times we're about to record the show, and I'm not working at the same time, so there shouldn't be any distractions, so I can actually focus on everything I want to say. Yes. So that puts me in a good mood, and I got a personal trainer session tomorrow morning. That's gonna be fun. And man, I just watched a great week of wrestling. I watched a great week of wrestling and found out there is a corner of the wrestling universe that knows what I know, that Kosuke Takeshita is better than everyone else at everything.
Yeah, it's a thing that people are slowly starting to realize. Like, hey, this guy is he's it. He's it.
He's the ace of New Japan, and he doesn't even work there.
Literally doesn't even work there. He'll just show up. He'll just show up, and all of a sudden you'll just realize, oh no, that's what the ace looks like.
He is better than everybody else here. Oh, cool. No.
Oh, sweet, awesome, cool, love it. But yeah, no, it's been a wild week of AEW. Obviously, we're recording this on Sunday because of the fact that we have to talk about Grand Slam Australia taking place. So we wanted to make sure we got the chance to watch it and include it in. And plus, we're just coming off of a really good episode of Dynamite as well. So there's a lot that we can get into for this show. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to also talk about how, AEW got a lot of awards from our good old buddy Dave Meltzer and his Wrestling Observer newsletter awards. So we're going to get into everything. So before we get into the show, got to do a quick little chill. So guys, we love the support that you give us. We appreciate everything that you guys do. Sticking with us, so if you could, give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish, and if you listen to us on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you're listening to us on, rate, review, subscribe, turn automatic downloads on, and then follow us on Twitter. We are at ATElitePod. You can also follow at Social Suplex, who make this show possible. Check out all the other shows they have on their network. I'm at Austin Sumwitz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter, and be sure to sign up for the Social Suplex newsletter. Link is in the description of this show, and that is our news of the week, is the fact that the Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards came out, and AEW got, they walked away with a shitload of stuff. So, Floyd, do you want to just go ahead and you want to go through these winners?
Yes, before I go through the awards, I want to say this is also the time of year where everyone comes out and complains about a newsletter that they don't subscribe to, subscribers giving away awards. I'm like, okay, I don't care about Dave Meltzer. Okay, so don't talk about the awards. I don't care about this. Okay, so don't talk about the awards. But every year they come in and they complain and they bitch and they moan about, this award thing that is really, even me as a fan that pays attention to this, if you're not a part of the Wrestling Observer community, if you're not a subscriber to the Wrestling Observer community, you can't even vote.
Yep.
So this is the 1% of the 1%. I said this is the nerdiest of the nerd wrestling thing. So when the people that are on this watch wrestling, they watch it, truly for quality. They're breaking down everything. So yeah, you might not understand it. The one that seems to cause this Booker T is worst announcer, which, okay, I find Booker T fun, but he's the color guy, and he's supposed to be giving information and breaking down the match and make you understand what's happening. He doesn't really do that.
He doesn't. But I would also say the only reason Booker T won that award, too, is the fact that Pat McAfee wasn't on TV long enough.
Yes.
He took an extended break from WWE, and you could feel it.
Yes. I think Booker T is very entertaining. I think Pat McAfee very entertaining. They're just not color guys. They don't do what their job is when you look at what a traditional color guy in wrestling is.
There's no analysis in it.
Yes, and it's like that's why Bryan Danielson won number one, is because he does it like amazingly, and he sticks in it, and it's like he treats the product like it's real. And
if William Regal was still doing color commentary like he did in early NXT, he would win every single time for me.
I did have one funny thing about it is, if you pay attention to how Bryan Danielson does color, it's a lot. He says a lot of the same things Jim Ross does that people hated Jim Ross for. Like he shouldn't get the shoulder. Why is he? That move didn't make sense.
Why is he calling out? Yeah, why is he calling out the illogical decisions of wrestlers?
Yes, and Bryan Danielson does the same thing, but he's Bryan Danielson, so you'll listen to him. You know what I mean? He's one of the best wrestlers that ever did it, so you'll listen to it. So, again, Bryan Danielson's one. Shout out to Oklahoma's own Walker Stewart. I know he's now with AEW, but my boy from Oklahoma, I literally called his first show in a fucking VFW hall with him. I didn't realize it was his first show. He told me that when we were in Japan, and that's just kind of cool. Again, I want to make it clear I had nothing to do with his success. That dude is a fucking grinder. That dude wanted it from the very beginning. He was at every time you see those things online, hey, if you pay this much, you can get in and talk to these professionals. He was doing all that shit. He was calling every show at every place. Places I wouldn't go, he was calling shows. That man busted his ass to get where he had to get. I just wanted to let you know, when I say I was there at the beginning, doesn't mean I'm claiming any sort of anything. That dude did it. That dude was driven on a level that I only ever hoped to be. So shout out to Walker Stewart on that. And then of course shout out to Bryan Danielson. Tony Schiavone got fifth worst. I was like, man, screw all of you.
Yikes.
Now, Tony, yeah. So it was funny because, Jonathan Coachman says this is the I Hate WWE Awards. And then he was reminded, of course, he doesn't read the replies. He was reminded that WWE won Promotion of the Year the last 2 years.
Yep.
And Tony Schiavone was in the worst announcer list. That doesn't sound like it's the I Love AEW awards to me.
Not so much.
As a WWE watcher, I will tell you, last year, as far as watching every week, was probably my most boring year in a very long time of WWE. Mm-hmm. And I mean, and this is not me taking shots because I watch WWE. I go to shows. I have Peacock. I watch the pay-per-views. So me hating on WWE makes no sense because I watch every show. What I'm saying is that it was very boring last year. There were many weeks where I just checked out on NXT completely. Like I had quit watching NXT for like a month. SmackDown just became background noise. Raw probably was the better of their shows, and I honestly say if you gave me out of 10, I'd probably give it a 6. It was just like it felt like nothing was going on a lot of the weeks on the show. So they had a rough year, and it came in the voting, right? So that's how shit happens. But now, as I go through that, but again, in the end, if you don't like Dave Meltzer, you not a subscriber to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and it doesn't matter to you, why do you comment on it every year?
Correct.
Just let it happen. Let those people that care about it sit in our little corner of the internet and have a great thing, because it doesn't, in essence, it really doesn't mean anything, but it's fun. All right.
Yep.
So the AEW Awards, I had to put this on top. The most outstanding wrestler, which usually goes to the best in-ring performer in the world, the nerdiest of the nerds, gave it to my personal favorite in-ring performer, Konosuke Takeshita, the alpha. He is the alpha of the world now. All right, tag team of the year, Young Bucks. Now, this was great because the top three tag teams in the tag team of the year. Number 1, the Young Bucks. Number 2, FTR. Number 3, Brodito. I was listening to a show and they said we have the best tag team division in the world. I can't tell. Okay. Best on interviews, Hangman Page. Best weekly TV show, AEW Dynamite. Match of the year, it was New Japan's Wrestle Dynasty. It's New Japan / AEW Wrestle Dynasty. And the reason I included it, because it's Kenny Omega versus Gabe Kidd. Kenny Omega, EVP in AEW. Gabe Kidd, pretty much coming to AEW. I don't know if that's true. I mean, he might do the dual contract thing, but he seems pretty comfortable in that black and gold. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, so United States, Canada MVP, Jan Moxley. Who was, I voted, I didn't vote in this, but any other thing I voted for, I always voted for Wrestler of the Year. Europe MVP, he's on the roster, so I'm counting it, Michael Oku. Feud of the Year, Hangman Page versus Jon Moxley. Most Improved went to Harley Cameron. She won our Most Improved award too, right? So, baby. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The listeners of All Things Elite know what's up. Bruiser Brody, Best Brawler Award, Jon Moxley. Like, Jon Moxley, it was like, the Academy Awards, and you win all the kind of down ballot things. You didn't win Best Actor, you didn't win Best Supporting Actor, but you won everything else. That's basically what Jon Moxley did this year.
Yes.
Most Underrated, Beast Mortos, which I can definitely agree with because he puts on a banger every time. Best Non-Wrestler, Don Callis. Don Callis family. I mean, honestly, that's built around his ability to just have personality. He's so good at it. Best Television Announcer, the aforementioned Bryan Danielson. Best Major Wrestling Show, we were at it, AEW All in Texas. Best Wrestling Maneuver, shout out to the Hangman. He hits that buckshot lariat. And the best gimmick goes to the timeless one, Tony Storm. So last year, and of course, last but not least, I wanted to save it, the best booker, and we've seen it this year, which how AEW's cooking. The man, the myth, the legend, Tony Khan, best booker, baby. He got it back. I think Triple H won it the last 2 years.
Yeah, I believe he did.
So Tony Khan come back to take his title as the best in the world at booking, and he's ours. He's AEW. He's All Things Elite. He belongs to us. Keep booking the way you do. Except in November, I'm gonna pull. After we get to a part, I'm gonna have to. I got a bone to pick with Tony.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge again. Like, just looking at that list, man, I mean, like, that's a load of AEW nods. And, like, again, depending on how much you care about these awards is really going to make it, like, the biggest thing. It's, like, of how much this means to you. But it is a cool little nod. And, again, like, I just firmly believe, too, like, I was talking with some friends about this, too. It's, like, this last year or so, AEW has really hit their stride again, and now I just feel like it's just like they found their niche, they found their groove, they found their kind of just like, this is how things are going to ride for them, and they stick to doing their thing. We don't have to deal with it was fine the first couple of years, but we don't have to deal with the pot shots to WWE or anything like that. They can just stay back, do their own thing, worry about their own stuff, and you're getting people now that are being like, man, I don't understand why I was talking shit about AEW for so long, even though I had never watched the show, like giving it a shot. And like all of a sudden, like they're like, why was I talking bad about this? This is good. And like, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but at the same time, for the sickos are having a goddamn blast right now. So like,
yeah, I mean, I enjoy the AEW. You know, I'm always the positivity, but I don't have to. I feel like a lot of times during some periods of times I was doing a lot of spin. It's like, oh, this could end up being good. I don't have to spin. I can just talk about the product now because it's all very good right now.
Exactly.
You know? And it's like, I mean, of course, I think it's very good because of who's on top, but
yes,
that's just my personal opinion. Whatever you like about it, and don't get me wrong, whatever you like about it's okay, and everybody has their own way, own reasons to think AEW is so hot right now, and that's definitely up to you. But it is really good, and I think this Dynamite and this Grand Slam Australia did nothing but to solidify that they're on their hot roll right now.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, and it's really awesome to see. But we can go ahead and we'll move into AEW Dynamite, which took place from Ontario, California, before everyone took off and went to Australia. The show opened with a promo segment with Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland, where Kenny comes out to do an interview, basically, and then they had their face-to-face as Swerve gets brought out because he had stuff to get off his chest. And he basically was like, talking about how Kenny was on top like 5 years ago when he was champ. But now, like, I clawed all the way to the top. Where was Kenny? Where was the best bout machine? Because I was becoming the most dangerous man in AEW. You were nowhere to be seen. And then you'd pop up here at the Tokyo Dome. I even teamed with you at Anarchy in the arena last year. But while I've been at the top, you've been laid up in a hospital bed or suspended. And it says, you call yourself the god of professional wrestling. You sound like a false prophet. But Kenny basically said, the fans called me the god of professional wrestling. I never asked for that. They gave it to him because they knew that if they see a Kenny Omega match, they get the absolute best. And they go back and forth, and you say, Kenny goes, you know what? If you need someone's, you may be your house, but if you question me, the lights might be on, but no one's home. If you need someone to burn down that house, I've got just a friend who has experience in that. And giving a little shot to his cowboy buddy. But he goes, I don't need EVP influencing getting wins. And if it weren't for Swerve last week, I would have had that chance in Australia. Now I want to fight. You disrespected me. So accept or yield. And Swerve just says, you're nervous. You're scared because our generation's already ahead of you and we're lapping you. And as they were talking, Kenny cuts off Swerve. And then Swerve's like, you know what? I'll put you back in the hospital time. Well, no, he said, no, you're going to call yourself the most dangerous man in AEW. That's currently Brody King right now.
Yeah.
That's what Kenny Omega said.
Yes.
And then building up Brody, love that they give him a shout out with him not being on the show, which for some reason a fucking rumor got started because of the fact of like, because of the fuck ice chance, they kept him off the show. Motherfucker went on a plane to Australia and was not booked for the show because he was flying to go to Australia to be in the goddamn main event.
I wasn't going to talk about this because I've heard so many different stories and I don't know what's true. I heard that part, and then later on I heard he was at the show. He just was never supposed to be on the show. It was always supposed to be
video package.
Either way. This is one of those ones I'm going to let play out. Because the reason I say this is because WBD is trying to sell their company right now, and the current administration could have a say in it if they want to. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they kept Brody King off the show, but I'm going to take WBD, AEW, and all the people at their word and say, hey, it didn't have anything to do with anything.
Well, and also, too, it didn't have anything to do with it because Grand Slam, it continued. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the whole thing I saw, I will sell you this, and this might make me a bad All Things Elite coverer guy. The show, to me, Wednesday was so good, I didn't even think about that Brody King wasn't on it.
I didn't either.
I knew he was about the main event Grand Slam, so I was like, they were going to focus on the other parts of the show, And
it wasn't like
it
wasn't like they were like, oh, Brody got hurt. He can't wrestle at Grand Slam, so he's been replaced with blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I never even thought about Grand Slam, him not being on it. When it became news the next day, that was the first time like, oh, he wasn't on the show. I'm like, dude, it didn't seem like there was anything else left to build.
Right.
I mean, the lasting image was him pinning MJF. That was the lasting image. So
exactly.
I didn't think
like either he was on a plane or he was there but just wasn't booked, but it had nothing to do with the fact. Now, again, if they want to say stuff like that, we'll see how it goes in terms of down the line. But I refuse to believe that this is a legitimate thing. This was just some rumor that got started that I felt like had little to no merit about it. So
absolutely.
But either way, after Kenny says the real most dangerous man in AEW is Brody King, Swerve's like, I will put you back in a hospital bed and you won't get back out of it. And then Omega slaps Swerve across the face. Looks like they're going to start going at it. And then that's when Swerve tackles Kenny. They start fighting, throwing each other around. Kenny then sends him into the crowd and then take a chair. They're fighting up the ramp. Swerve throws gets thrown into the video board, gets hit with a V-trigger against the board, tries to go for the one-winged angel, but Swerve gets out of it and stabs him in the head with I think it might have been a screwdriver, I think. And then he spears him off the stage through the tables, and then they're both being looked at afterwards. So wild start to begin with. The promo battle I thought was pretty exciting, and it was a good start for the show. I will say, the Next Generation line to me doesn't this and this is nothing against Swerve, but doesn't the line about talking about the new generation has passed you said to Kenny Omega, doesn't that hit harder if it's Will Ospreay saying it? Since I just feel like Kenny and Ospreay are literally looking in a mirror. You know what I mean?
See, well, and that's the whole thing. I do think Swerve and Ospreay, MJF, Takeshita, and Hangman are the new generation. And Hangman's the only one that can say he was part of the old generation and the new generation.
Yeah, he's kind of still in. He's the tweener in between. Both. He's the middle child.
Yeah, because you got like Kyle Fletcher. You got like the new generation is a lot of people. But I think vocally, Swerve is the head of it. Because Ospreay's great. He's not a big talker. You get what I mean? As far as the person that has taken on that head and lead, it's gonna be Swerve or MJF, depending on who you want to. He has taken that AEW on his shoulders, as in like he's trying to carry this thing. So I think he was a good voice there. Would Ospreay maybe worked better? I can actually agree with that, but I do think
it's not saying that it was bad,
because the whole idea is
that line fits so well. If Will Ospreay said it to Kenny,
see, it'd be either one because they're the EVP killers, and this was the continuation of him trying to take out all the EVPs.
Yeah, that's very true though. But I do like that, especially with all the faces that are in the world title picture like that. So I think it just fits super, super well. So, but yeah. Good opening promo section. We had a little bit of a backstage interview with Kyle Fletcher, talking about the pressure for the TNT Championship match later in the night. And then we had a trios match between the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Claudio, and Pac versus the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Josh Alexander, and Mark Davis. And in terms of matches, ooh, buddy, this was a good one. This was a really fun one.
Big meaty men slapping meat. I mean, and I tell people that like when big meaty men, they be like, it's an energy to the match. That's the
big. It may not mean anything for me.
Yeah.
It may not mean anything coming from me. Motherfucker looks big to me. I'll tell you that much.
Big, yeah. Like let me tell you, the king of the meat match is Tomohiro Ishii, and he's 5'6". He's the king of it. 5'7" maybe. That dude puts on a big meaty man match every time he wrestles. So it's that big meaty energy, and that's what this has. Just two brawlers, like, I can hit you harder than you. I can hit you harder, and they just going at it, and Mark Davis is, this was big meaty match. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was exciting. I loved the physicality of it with everybody being so beefy. The moment that threw me off was when Mark Davis was being lifted by Claudio. The strength that he used to pull him up into that suplex, like he was like deadlifting the dude.
Yes.
And like Claudio didn't even know what to do with his body after he finished the move. He like was bouncing in the center of the ring like,
Yo.
I fucking just did that. Holy shit.
So Claudio is so skilled. But if he just, I think he could be one of the kings of the big meaty matches if he just wanted to do that. He's just so physical. Those forearms hit so hard, man. And he moves. He's so fast. Like, he's so large, but he moves around with everybody. He's so graceful. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. And then Takeshita, again, proving just how unbelievable dude is. And I loved especially how focused he was going after Jon Moxley, building up the hype for the match that they were going to have in Grand Slam. And yeah, it was just a really, really, really fun match to open things up. Yeah, it was a good performance there. The match ends up going with Mark Davis proceeding to coming in, and then Pac. Sorry, they need to space this shit out. Like I watched the show. It's been a couple days. But, like, their goddamn website, they need to space out their text things when they're talking about the match because, like, the amount of shit that's on screen for their website is, like, there's... At some point, I'm just looking at it, and then it's just, like, words are just, like, blending together for me. But eventually, what ends up happening was the Don Callis family ends up getting the win for this one.
Moxley caught Alexander with the Death Rider to get the pinfall.
Yep, so he gets Josh Alexander for that one.
So the Death Riders won.
Yep.
And
so
then
the Death Riders get the win.
Mox and Takeshita have a standoff. There we go.
Yeah. Yep. And then that's when they confirmed during the match too, Kenny and Swerve are going to face off one-on-one next week in Sacramento.
Yes. So it's pretty cool. I don't think he's going to do the show. I don't think he's going to do One Nation Radio before. So the boy Rich is going to be in Sacramento for the show. And if anyone knows, the god of professional wrestling, I think Rich gave him that moniker. You know, Rich is like one of the biggest Kenny Omega fans I know. And then, of course, he loves him some Swerve Strickland. He's always said he wanted to be in the building for that show. So shout out to Rich. He's going to be in Sacramento for Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland.
Huge stuff for that match. We then had the TNT Championship match, Kyle Fletcher versus Tommaso Ciampa for the TNT title. Not even going to lie, like, I thought there was a chance this might have been the main event. I really thought this possibly could have been the main event. But regardless of when the match happened, it doesn't even matter because this match was fucking great. This match was so goddamn good, dude.
Dude, so I got 2 AEW matches of the year, and they both got Tommaso Ciampa in it, and they were both for the TNT title.
Isn't that crazy?
And he's been here. This is his 3rd match. Like, when he said he came to AEW to prove he still got it, I mean, no more proof needed for me. Just keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, 3rd match in 11 days.
Yeah.
Isn't that nutty?
Yeah. I mean,
and he's already he has made an immediate impact coming in here, dude. Like, it's truly unbelievable how awesome these guys have been. And like Ciampa is just like consistently like I've always loved Tommaso striking. I love just how dude, like even like the little stuff too where he did the clapping in the corner and then patting himself on the shoulder. I got NXT flashbacks and I was just like, oh, it's so good. And then like Fletcher just working right there with him, dude. Like,
dude, this is crazy. So Ciampa's basically been in WWE and NXT. You know, Kyle Fletcher was in the UK, in New Japan, and then here. They've never worked together. You could not
Could have
tell.
fooled me. Yeah,
you could not tell. You could have told me that was their 6th or 7th match. They had so much immediate chemistry. I mean, they knew each other's reversals and how it moved into to their moves. How many times he caught him with that knee, and it was just like, and how many times he reversed with the super kick, the kick outs, dude. It was, man, this match. On the edge of the seat, because I truly believe that if you went Ciampa versus Briscoe in Australia or whenever, and if Fletcher won, I felt like there was a story to tell either way.
Sure.
I was hoping it was Fletcher so he go back to Australia.
There was so much like, oh, it could go either way in this match, which is like we've always talked about how much that adds to a match. Like I was really thinking Ciampa still was going to win this thing. I really thought he still had this.
Yeah, he hit the running knee, and Fletcher just kicks out. And oh my God, the drama on the kickouts. Now, I don't know.
Yeah, when they kicked out, and then they both looked at the commentators like how stunned they were.
Dude, and I think I would have to go back and confirm this. I don't think Fletcher watches the ref when he kicks out.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, if I am remembering correctly. I might be remembering wrong. I don't think he watches the ref when he kicks out, because I think when his matches, that adds so much to it, because when you see them staring at the refs, they're like, oh, they're going to kick out. And then when you see their eyes closed, it's going to be 3. But I think he does a good job of not doing that. And I want to give him credit, but I can't give him 100% credit because I don't remember if I'm remembering correctly. So if I'm wrong, you can definitely tell me. But I don't think he looks at the ref when he kicks out. And I think that adds so much drama to it.
Oh, 1,000%. No, 1,000%. And dude, I loved how, like, again, Fletcher's youth, Fletcher's just like speed and everything about him, like, really carried it in. I couldn't believe the goddamn psycho driller on the steel steps. That shit looked fucking vicious.
Yes, psycho driller.
That shit was fucking vicious, truly. And then even still, like, when Fletcher gets set up, it looks like he's gonna get hit with that exposed knee. He super kicks him, then gets hit with it anyway, and then he still kicks out of the damn move. And then eventually, Fletcher does his thing, gets the win. He is the new TNT champion, and immediately wants to defend his title in Sydney, Australia, in his hometown. And Fletcher then is interrupted by the man himself, Mark Briscoe. And Briscoe comes out and is immediately like, oh, we're finishing this thing off. It's our last match against each other. It's the last match of this series. It's going to be a ladder match. And I'm just like, come the fuck on, man. I am living right now. I am living.
Dude, it was like when they said it and it was going to be a ladder match, and it was just like, I mean, heels kind of in AEW are presented in a different way. Kyle Fletcher was kind of the aggressor. Kyle Fletcher asked for the ladder match. That's not really how heels are supposed to work in wrestling. But AEW's not afraid to do it better. Kyle Fletcher's like, I want to prove that I'm the greatest TNT champion. And I can't prove that by ducking anybody. So let's fucking go. And so
let's fucking go.
So, oh, dude, I was absolutely down with that. It was so awesome. I loved how Briscoe came out, and I loved how there was no cowardice. I love how Don Callis didn't try to talk him out of it. Don Callis did. Well, I was shocked. He's like, what the hell? But I love how he didn't try to talk him out of it. It was just like, let's go. You know, if you're going to believe in yourself, you know, I got to believe in you too, you know, and he did, and it was great.
Oh, yeah. And that set up for an unbelievably exciting match that we were going to get in Grand Slam Australia. But, yeah, we move now into the Babes of Wrath. They had a little promo battle, a promo segment talking about how Harley was going to be returning home as well for the World Tag Team Championship match. Then we had a tag match between Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong versus Daniel Garcia and Clark Connors. And, you know, this is fine. This is fine. Like, the match itself was this was the one that kind of was just a solid enough match on a card that was really, really stacked, I felt like, in terms of matches and stuff like that. In terms of the stuff that I enjoyed the most, this was probably the lowest on that for me. But even still, I thought...
And I feel like the bar in AEW's wrestling is so high.
That's what I'm saying.
Like you had just saw Kyle Fletcher versus Tommaso Ciampa.
What do you want me to say?
You weren't beating that. You weren't you weren't going to compete with that. Trying to come off that emotional high on it is just crazy. So, when you have to follow a match like that, yeah, this might happen.
Yeah, but even still, it was enjoyable. The little promo that was cut afterwards by Timeless Toni Storm as she was in the luxury box calling Marina Shafir a mixed martial asshole.
Yes.
And then just building up the whole thing of the hair versus hair match. I was very much excited. And Yuta coming out too, and basically still coming out. It was really, really good. I thought it was so good.
Okay. And this was... Okay. Where are we at now?
Now they announced Andrade and Hangman were going to face off against each other, of course, with that. Jet Set Rodeo was talking.
Did we say Wheeler Yuta cut Mina Shirakawa's hair?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. God, I was reading to keep up.
Mina was there and had Marina Shafir had Mina Shirakawa locked in mother's milk, and that's when Garcia stopped Orange Cassidy from saving him, and that's when Mina's hair got cut. You motherfuckers.
And now, I did want to say this. Garcia super looked like a dork in this match. And people were like, well, why would you say that?
What's new?
Dude. So you get a 2-on-1 advantage, and somehow you still take the pin. How does that work?
I don't know, man.
I don't
know. Daniel Garcia being in the Death Riders to me still is a
Daniel Garcia.
It's an interesting sight to me. It's like I don't know.
Daniel Garcia and John Moxley got to go to Tony Khan. It's like, what do you want from me? Because he signed back. He won the TNT title, and it's been downhill from there. Yeah.
I will say the one spot I do love was when Orange Cassidy had his hands in his pocket, ducked Clark Connors, and Clark slammed himself right into the bottom rope. That shit looked like it sucked.
Darby Allin came out and kidnapped Clark Connors too, attacked him. So that was crazy.
Kidnapped and attacked, basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was solid. Andrade and Hangman had a little thing building up to their match. Jet Set Rodeo talked about how they wanted to look for challengers, even though Hangman. See, does it frustrate you as much as it does me that like the trios championships are just kind of being like, we want to do things too, even though one of our members of the team is currently going after the world title and is more focused on that than defending the trios titles. Like, does that frustrate you like it frustrates me?
It doesn't, because the company's so booked well. Like, I don't know where the trios title would go right now.
That's the thing. It's just those belts specifically to me are like an afterthought.
No, let me tell you about an afterthought. The belts that they said they were trying to get was the tag team belts. So, we'll actually get to this after the trios match. Well, it's the next segment. Right after this,
yeah.
I have thoughts.
We had a number one contenders match for the World Tag Team Championships. Young Bucks going up against the Rascals and the wild card team, Private Party.
Yes, and the crowd went mild.
I was like, oh yeah, oh my God, is that Private Party?
Now this is where you get into it, and I'm gonna be the vignette guy. I mean, you bringing them back after being gone a year. Give us a few vignettes. Give us something to say Private Party's on the way back. Then when they came back, it would have been a big deal. Because this is the thing that happens in this situation. I in no way I could do better than Tony Khan, but this seems like the whole. When you do It's going to be a mystery opponent.
The fantasy booking goes off the rails.
The fantasy booking goes off the rails. I was hearing Christian and Cope. I was hearing people from New Japan. I was hearing people from CMLL. And then it was Private Party, a team that works for AEW. Just announced that it's going to be Private Party. Have them do a little interview on...
Saves a whole lot.
On Collision. You know what? There's nothing. The crowd might even get more excited because, again, when a team comes out, there is a little disappointment when it's someone that's already in your company that's just been gone for a year. So you got to set this mystery thing. You got to do better of waiting until it's really good before. And this is not a shout out to Private Party. You already work for AEW. That's the whole thing. So they could have just did a few vignettes a few weeks before, had it say, oh, Private Party's back on Collision and we're coming back to take our titles. Then when the music hits, everybody knows it's Private Party and they're going shots, 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 instead of that moment where they're disappointed, which comes into why the crowd sounded like that.
Yes.
This is 100% a fan perspective because I've been in the crowds when they say it's going to be a mystery guy and I hear the names.
We heard it with Christian.
Dude, I let me tell you the most ridiculous one. I'm in a house watching a WWE program and they said it was going to be a mystery guy. And this dude is sitting next to me tells me it could be Dean Ambrose. The current AEW champion at that time, he thought it could be, because that's what fans do.
They go fall into
They go, yes. So unless you're coming with a real surprise, you really shouldn't say a mystery tag team. And you do a mystery tag team, you bring back Private Party, they look like geeks when they lost, they come back as the mystery team, and then guess what they do in that match too?
Look like geeks.
Because they lose. They're the ones that take the pinfall.
Yeah, of course. Just like it wasn't going to be fucking Private Party. And it's the song that never ends. FTR and the Young Bucks.
Let me say this about this. I think they might have pinned Myron Reed. It wasn't the one of the Private Party. It was Myron Reed. I just had to. So, but either way, Private Party didn't win. It was like you did this comeback and then nothing happened. So yes, it is the Young Bucks again. The match was good. It was a trios tag match, and we don't really need to cover it. You're listening.
And then
to the show.
Those guys are they're high flying like crazy, and they fit well with the going against the Rascals, and like these three teams, like they fit each other's styles. They do what you expect them to do. It's very entertaining. They do all the moves.
Yeah, and a point to bring up from the match, because this is looks like it's going forward. Hook was up in the rafters watching the match. I think Private Party is going to join the Ops. That's my guess, but we'll see. Because after the show, they cut this promo about how they're not all about fun and stuff. They're coming back to be serious. It seems like that's about the lineup with them joining the Ops. But whatever. The Young Bucks win. FTR Young Bucks. Again, I want to, you say FTR Young Bucks again. It really isn't that much. They haven't fought since the Dynasty where Jack Perry came back. So, what's that, 2024? It's almost been 2 years. And this is only their 5th match in 6 years. Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher have had 7 matches in a year. Have they really done that match too much? Because that's what I saw. Everybody's like, oh, it's FTR versus Young Bucks again. I'm like, no. They've only wrestled 5 times. I was there for 4 of them. This hasn't happened as much as you think it's happened.
It hasn't. And again, like I said, too, it's like, I think it, again, people like the shiny new toy, the Rascals being in AEW, you want to see them do stuff too, but
yes.
I'm not going to act like, I joke about it with you, but I'm not going to act like another match from the Young Bucks and FTR isn't going to entertain me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was arguing with myself of whether I was getting first row or Revolution. JR talked me down. He's like, well, see, the thing is, JR is not as tall as I am. And there was the first row seats were kind of at the end, and people could be in front of them. So it might not be the greatest experience for someone that's not as tall as me. So
sure.
Yeah, so we're going with a different section. But that being said, I saw online today, somebody said, I'm tired of what FTR's been doing for the last few months. Why don't they evolve? Why don't they evolve? And I was like,
this is better. They turned heel. When did they turn heel?
March last year. So yeah. I mean, they were faces before then,
and they were fucking treading water as baby faces for like a year plus.
I want to let you know, if you don't like FTR, I am okay with it. We don't all like the same things. If you don't like FTR, I am not coming at you for not liking FTR. That is fine. We all have it. But don't try to make these weird cases of not liking FTR. You say the FTR hasn't evolved in 6 years was one I saw. And I was like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. What does evolution looking like in tag team? The Young Bucks are still the Young Bucks. They went from
people are excited now for the Young Bucks because they're back to wearing their fucking their ribbon shit and everything like that, and they're back to looking the way they did back when they were in the Bullet Club.
But all this really changes the gear. You know what I mean? You can go through the history of tag team wrestling. You don't really get quote unquote evolution. The characters may evolve, but the wrestling style is the wrestling style. So and I thought that was silly. And everybody's like, well, the tag team belts feel stale. Now, this is where Floyd actually did some research. Tony Khan, my savior of professional wrestling.
Are you a smash burger king? Creating those crispy edges and the intense beefy flavor that puts fast food to shame? Thanks to Omaha Steaks, I never have to worry about whether I have high-quality proteins on hand. And they have so many options, handcrafted steaks, convenient comfort meals, and it's always excellent. Celebrate President's Day with the exceptional handcrafted flavor and convenience of Omaha Steaks. Get 50% off the world's best everyday protein. Go to omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their President's Day sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code YUM at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off with promo code YUM at checkout. Go to https://omahasteaks.com to get 50% off site-wide during their President's Day sale. And use promo code YUM at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply.
A guy I love, I do not question most often. But I don't know why he does a title change every year right before the Continental Classic and then forgets how to book the tag team division. And someone was like, no, you're full of shit. And I was like, no, you go back to 2023. Big Bill and Ricky Starks squashed FTR right before the Continental Classic. They then have two title defenses their whole reign. None during the Continental Classic. And then right after the Continental Classic, they lose it to Sting and Darby. The next year, Private Party gets the Dead Period Championship. They beat the Young Bucks right before the Continental Classic. They get what? 2 title defenses. One's in a 4-way. And then they lose the belt to the Hurt Syndicate. Now FTR... You think, FTR's the bigger name, they would get better contenders. They've had 2 title matches, again, in the same period of time. Tony Khan forgets that he has a tag team division during the Continental Classic. I have Cage Match to back me up. I mean, I know they're doing vignettes and other stuff, but be building up a tag team for them to face. I love Austin Gunn, and I love the Guns. They're one of my favorite tag teams. But nobody wanted to see Austin and Juice fight FTR. Mm-hmm. They had 0 intrigue. You're saying you couldn't bring in a tag team in, you couldn't throw two people together to get them together for that tag match. And of course, we're talking about Doyle and, they had their incident. But again, that was pretty hot. And they had a pretty good match until one person got hurt and they had to do the ending a little differently. But for some reason, during this period of months, the tag team division just goes bye-bye. And guess who gets blamed? Not the booking for not actually putting them in matches and, building a storyline. They blame the tag teams. They say, oh, yeah, Big Bill, tired of Big Bill and Ricky Starks being champion. Why are you tired of them? They're not defending their belts. I'm tired of Private Party being champion. Their title feels stale. Yes, when you don't defend the belts for months at a time, you're going to feel stale. I'm not saying this for FTR. I'm bringing up the other teams. This is a 3-year pattern that's ending with FTR. They need to figure this fuck out.
Honestly, yeah, you bringing it up like that, like it's you ain't wrong.
I'm like, the numbers are there. They don't know how to build a feud during this dead period. And I know the Bucks take off after like Thanksgiving or whatever. Whatever. You have enough tag teams in the company to build a match. So fix it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Your roster's
pretty
huge.
Much.
Your roster's huge. Fix it.
You got a shitload of tag teams.
Yeah. You could have had Top Flight win 6 matches in a row and then do something with FTR.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many different things that you can do, so much talent on this deep ass roster that you can keep your tag team belts afloat during the Continental Classic and stop making your November, October champions look like they're doing nothing because they're not getting booked.
Pretty much. We now go to the main event of Dynamite, the strap match for the Women's World Championship between the Toxic Spider Thekla and the Cosmic Killer Chris Statlander. And this is their moment where they coronated our girl Thekla.
And I go with this match 5 stars. And I think AEW might be the kings of the 15-minute women's plunder match, because this match was so physical, so much blood. I'm like, if you didn't like this match, I don't know if you like wrestling.
I especially do.
They beat the shit out of each other.
And even before they started bleeding and everything like that, dude, the spot of Thekla doing her spider crawl and then getting pulled out from underneath her by the strap.
Yes.
Chef's kiss.
Yes.
And then, as Chris is just bloodied and beating, she's slashing Thekla with the leather strap and then catches her when she's hanging from the top rope and then just repeatedly smacks her in the stomach with the thing. Thekla spits in her face. And then Julia Hart comes in to help cause some distraction, setting up the victory for Thekla as she beats Chris Statlander to win the Women's World Championship. They've been riding high with her. They've been really riding high with her, trying to put her on top and everything like that. And this is the moment where the Triangle of Madness really set themselves up and really put up Thekla as the big push. They start beating her down after the match, and then that's when the Brawling Birds come to help out and chase them off. And it's a solid end to the show. Really, really good plunder match, like you said. And again, it was just gung ho, fast to the jump. It wasn't too long. It really just did its stuff. And they're making Thekla into a big ass deal, and it's really fucking cool to see.
Yeah, Chris Statlander might be the best. She's right there with Tony and Mercedes as the best in ring. And I don't know what's missing with her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like she should have this massive following that are bowing down to her because she puts on performances as good as anyone. There's just something missing. And on the men's side, when there's something missing, when you can wrestle really good and there's something, they just put you with Don Callis. And I'm like, should she be the first female Don Callis family member? Because that's all she's missing. She just like, it's just like she's great. She's so good. And it's just like, why don't I care?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm putting it on me. Why don't I care more?
And she's had better promos, truly.
Yeah.
I mean, she's had better promos where she kind of has a little bit more character to her.
Her last few promos, I've even said were average, which to me was an improvement. But I think she just felt more herself when she was the full-on alien. Because
I think also too, I think her being the alien, she didn't talk that much when she was the alien.
Yeah, and she'd boop you, and it just seemed like she had this charisma to her that seems to not be there. And like I said, everything I'm saying is a fact about. She's an amazing wrestler. I just don't know what's missing with that crowd connection with her. And of course, I know there are hardcore AEW fans that are all about stat. What I'm talking about is she's this good at wrestling and the music hits. And she gets a nice little applause. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But people aren't all the way behind her like you feel they should be. And then when Tekla won, there was like no boos or moans or anything. It was like, oh yeah, Tekla won. You know, the kind of thing. And it was just like, I don't know. I hope they figure it out because I love Chris Statlander. And I want her in AEW forever. This has nothing to do with anything like that. It's just like, I just feel like there's something missing there from her going from where she is to truly being one of the top women as far as popularity in the company.
Right. No, for sure.
Yeah.
That was AEW Dynamite. Again, the show was really, really good, really exciting. And that was only the appetizer, too, as we got into AEW Grand Slam Australia, which was stacked. And was really, really solid, too. Really enjoyed this show. The show opened up with Jon Moxley going head-to-head with Konosuke Takeshita for the Continental Championship. And really, really, really good match. And they fight their way all the way to a time limit draw.
Yeah.
And the thing that's going around... Oh, go ahead.
I was watching this match. And when people were asking, I was like, well, I don't think it's time for Moxley to lose yet.
Right.
But I don't really think he should beat Takeshita yet. And I came into this match I had no prediction. I was like, I really didn't know what they were going to do. But, but I did say this is what AEW is. You have the most outstanding wrestler in the world, one of the best in-ring workers in the world, the best brawler in the world in the same match. And it's like, is this a pay-per-view? No. If you have cable, you have HBO Max, you can watch this.
Yeah.
And excuse me, it was the first match on the card. And what did they do? They gave you 20 minutes of some of the best wrestling you'll ever see.
Yeah. And it was really exciting as it came down, and the crowd was going once they got up with like 30 seconds to go. So everyone was super hyped. The kick out at 1-2 was just unbelievable from Takeshita. And then Mox does the same thing. He gets kneed in the back of the head. And then as they're setting up trying to pin for it, they're counting it down. He kicks out again. And then Takeshita tries to lift up Moxley. He's lifting him up. And then eventually the bell rings and it's done. The crowd's got their head in their hands. They couldn't believe that it went to a time limit draw. And then the thing that's going around right now is the aftermath of the match where Moxley's talking to the referee. And basically, it looks like Moxley makes the call in the ring that, the crowd's a little bit dead after it being a time limit draw. Let's try to do something real quick just to be able to get this crowd amped up again to not end it just like this. So he talks to the ref, then says, "This is fucking bullshit." The ref kind of talks over to Takeshita on the ground. They get up, face off. Moxley face washes Takeshita, and that's when Takeshita hits his finish, gets the crowd fired up a little bit more, so that way there's a little bit more pop coming out of this match because people wanted a definitive finish. From watching the video, it does seem like that's what took place from watching the end of the match back. And again, that just shows how professional these guys are. And people will keep saying Moxley's the ace, and like I can't. Every time I try to say otherwise, like he proves me wrong every time. Like it's just paying attention to the crowd, listening to the crowd, listening for like where to go with things, and then just making the decision right then and there. Like let's give and Mox being like open, be like, let me give this to Takeshita because he'll be able to use this a lot. So
true vet stuff, and it's the catch-22, the double-edged sword of the situation. I love this because it shows what like a true veteran. That's just, to me, that was like old school wrestling. You know what I mean? And that was cool. But what broke it is that someone broke it down to show you the magic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It was just a cool moment. Like when you're watching the show, I wasn't really paying attention. They got back at each other in the face. They hit each other. Takeshita hit it, and it was just a cool moment. I was like, yeah, Takeshita leaving out on top. But then someone just like, let's break this down frame by frame and put notes on it, and it's just like, you took the magic away. Oh, the girl wasn't sawed in half. That sucks. I'm like, I knew she wasn't sawed in half, but I didn't need somebody slowing it down and adding subtitles, So it's the double-edged sword because, like I said, there's part of me that likes it, and it tells me something about Mox, and it was really cool. And then there's the other part of me that's like, I kind of thought it was this magical moment, and now it's not. So I don't know. Like I said, I see both ways with it, but it was when I saw it today, I was like, I kind of wish I didn't see it.
I know. But either way, I saw it going around, and I just figured I'd comment on it. We then had the Women's Tag Team Championship match between the Babes of Wrath and Mega Bad, Megan Bayne, and Penelope Ford. Can I tell you how terrified I was going into this match? Because I was like, I don't know if they're going to win this thing. I thought this was the moment Megan Bayne was really going to just like put my girl in the dirt and then win the tag titles with Penelope. I thought this was going to be kind of her first big championship. But then I remembered TK doesn't really like having people lose in their hometown.
Yeah. If you had, we didn't really do predictions. If you would ask my prediction, it would have been that Mega Bad wins.
Dude, I was like, I kind of leaned that way. I still thought that Babes of Wrath was hot enough to the point where they could still win. But I was also just like, man, they're waiting for the moment where they can. This is very similar with Thekla. Both her and Megan Bayne are two girls that they are especially pushing, and they especially want to be a big thing. Yeah. So I was waiting for, like, this seemed like a moment where they could just, like, say go, and then just, like, now she's going to take over.
Megan Bayne feels like Kyle Fletcher for the women's division.
Yes.
Like, it's not if, it's when.
It is 100% when.
It's not, it's like, when are they going to pull the trigger on her? It's going to happen. They had a pretty decent match. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good. I just saw some clear, clear cohesiveness and stuff. And then there was a few slow parts in the match, but in the end, it was a backslide, right?
Yep. It was Megan Bayne diving to the outside to hit Willow. And then Penelope gets backslid. Like, that was the moment when Megan was out of the ring and it was just Harley in the ring with Penelope. I'm like, oh, this is it. This is where she wins it right here. And I was right. Harley gets the win in her hometown. And then Lana Cross comes in, and then she jumps the Babes of Wrath. Crowd doesn't really sell it. Doesn't really get a reaction out of it. And then Megan Bayne and Penelope come and help jump him out.
This wasn't the Australian indie crowd they needed it to be.
Yeah, they were not. They did not really have much of a reaction to Lena, and
but she comes in, does the TKO. It was beautiful, and they stand, and oh my God, she's taller than Megan Bayne.
That's fucking crazy. Like literally, that's crazy.
And yeah, she's 31, 6 foot. Been around Australian indies since 2019, so about 7 years in. She looks really good. Apparently, she came from like a stupid small town in Australia, so she had to, work her way up to where she is now. She has a great look, and Tony Khan's on this heater of giants. I mean, there's a 6'2" chick. I forget her name, and it's 2 6-foot women in ROH. They're part of STP. And like he's bringing in some giants. He's bringing in some basketball players. So
I guess so.
Man, she walked in. I had no idea who she was, and she sold me. I've never seen a Lane Cross match. I'm not gonna pretend to be super knowledgeable. I was gonna Google it before, but I didn't want to. I wanted to come in with the same kind of knowledge a regular fan would come in, which is not a lot. She's gonna develop, and her first impression was good, and we're gonna see how she comes out, because I don't want to watch a lot of her old stuff and decide who she is. Or maybe they do a storyline in her old stuff that they use in AEW, and I don't want to be like, I've already seen that. So I'm going to leave what she's done then, and I'm going to get to know Lena Cross in real time in AEW.
Yes. We then had Hangman Adam Page versus Andrade El Idolo. Winner gets the world title match at Revolution. This was really fun. I thought this match was really, really fun. In terms of exciting moments.
Very physical match. Very physical match. A lot of forearms, kicks, that fucking elbow. I'm like, I don't think it should be his finisher.
That to me is what the Judas effect should have been for years.
Yeah, it's like it's not a finisher, but it should definitely be the setup move for his the DM.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 1,000%. Also, too, in terms of like moves like that are just like straight catch you off guard. When Andrade does the flip to try to after the springboard and then gets drop kicked in the gut while he's handstanding, that was amazing. Of course, we had Andrade with his continuation with his Latina corner, having another baddie with her trying to take a selfie and everything like that. Gets a kiss on the cheek and everything. And he's even like, oh, okay. Yes. And then Hangman kicks him in the face. And then he decides to take a selfie with her. And she's like, sure. And then she kind of tries to do the same thing with Hangman, to which he goes, no, I'm married.
And see, whatever his real name is, married. Farmer Steve is married. Hangman is single, goddammit.
Hangman, the character of Hangman Page,
is single.
Is single and ready to mingle.
No, but he said I'm married, and I was like, lame. No, I bet that if
not my face of the company. Yeah. Well, and also too, he goes and takes the picture with her and everything like that after he kicks the dude in the face, and everything like that, and then goes like, no, I'm married. So you're leading her on is what you're doing.
Yeah, I imagine
that's not my baby face. That's not my face of the company.
I imagine there's a great community out there that whole thing really endeared him to. Like,
oh sure, absolutely.
That's so sweet. That's so human. That's so human.
And then even still, Hangman Page has to cheat to win the match.
Cheater. Pumpkin eater. I thought he was above that. Well, hey, won't cheat on his wife, but will cheat in a match. What kind of crap is that?
Yep.
Hit Andrade right in the family jewels. That the move of the year, the buckshot lariat to get the 1, 2, 3. I really like this match. I do feel like they left meat on the bone.
Yes.
I feel like we're going to see Andrade and Hangman more down the road. And I think they got a better match in them. But I don't think they were trying to have the best match.
Like, no, it was very much a setup match.
It felt important. They did a great job of making it feel important. You didn't know who was going to win, but I felt like they left meat on the bone.
Yeah, I do too. And it seems like you could have them have a pay-per-view match and it would be nutty. So
Yes.
We then had the mixed tag team tornado hair match between Timeless Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy versus Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. Now they did confirm this because honestly, I got a little bit confused when I watched it live. They did confirm this. The loser of the fall had to get their head shaved. It's not the team themselves. Both have to get shaved. It's the person who takes the pinfall. That was the call. So immediately I was like, Yuta, say goodbye to your hair.
Again, I want to commend them before you go through it on taking a very predictable ending and making it exciting. I thought they did it. I thought they put on a fun match, even though everyone, the person that's have watched AEW for 2 weeks knew who was losing this match.
I especially love in this match too. They went all out with the mixed tag team moves too, with Timeless Tony Storm getting pile drivered by Yuta, and then Tony having to be carried to the back by Luther and leaving Orange Cassidy by himself. Then she comes back and then just starts suplexing the shit out of Marina Shafir. They do their little dance spot and everything. The funniest part about that one, too, is the fact that they just continued to hit Marina in the face with it. And then both of them are both women are putting submission holds on the boys. And then Marina Shafir suplexes Yuta, slamming her head against the turnbuckle, and then eventually dives in for the hip attack on Yuta, and then throws him to Orange Cassidy for the Orange Punch. Yuta then gets hit with the Stormbreaker, Storm Zero, and then she pins Yuta to get the victory. So after everything, Yuta is the one that gets pinned by Tony. He's like, fuck this shit. And he's like, I don't need to listen to you. Leaves. And then Jon Moxley stops him from leaving in the crowd and goes, fucker, you lost. Get back in the ring and just get shaved. And he's like, dude, look at me. I lived. Go get shaved. You will not die.
Yeah, this
is one bald man saying to another man, it's not bad being bald.
He said, I'm your dad. You gambled. You put your hair up. Now you got to go face the music. It's like, I've seen it when I was in school when I didn't study. And I didn't want to go to school because I didn't study. And my dad made me go and get that D, or F or whatever I got. But in this case, Dad sent his son back and he said, you got to face the consequences. You shouldn't have lost. You don't want to lose your hair. You shouldn't have lost.
Dude, I will tell you right now that the way they were cutting his hair looked painful as shit.
Yes.
Like, just straight dry with scissors, no spraying or anything to get his hair wet, besides him sweating and shit like that. That shit looked like it fucking hurt. And you could tell there were moments where he's just like, fuck. And then he's sweaty and his hair is covering his body and everything like that, stuck to his body. Ugh.
It was terrible. It's terrible. And I love it. It looks like, so from House Rules, it looks like he's wearing the hat so you can't see his head. So, yeah, they're building to the moment where someone snatches the hat off. Maybe it happens on Dynamite. I don't know when it'll happen, but that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. We then go into the TNT Championship ladder match between the new TNT champion, the Protostar Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Briscoe. And,
this is another, I will say this. Seeing them 7 times in the last 2 years, I don't think there was much that they could do to really get me going. What do you think? I thought it was a solid match. But if you
I will say
would you go back and watch it again? I probably
would. There's spots on there that I like. Again, they were physical. Like Fletcher throwing him off the ladder and into a vicious bump on the apron. Specifically, fucking Fletcher lawn darting Briscoe into the ladder looked absolutely vicious. And again, there was There was good stuff. The froggy bow onto the ladder was a great spot. And again, he flipped over the ladder and everything like that. It was physical. It was a ladder match. It was good in that regard. And then like the brain buster from the top of the ladder was also one of the damnedest things I'd ever seen. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like a good ladder match for the Aussie in his home country. It was great seeing the reaction he got.
And I like that he beat him definitively.
Yes.
It wasn't like, Don Callis didn't come triple him or anybody didn't have it. Kyle Fletcher's like, I can do this on my own. And he went up and just beat him. And it's over. And now, we shouldn't see this match for at least another year or two. Now, if you want to do a triple threat with those three in it, but one-on-one Fletcher and Briscoe, it should be at minimum 6 months before we see that again.
Yes, I'm right there with you. And then we get the main event, the AEW World Championship match between MJF and Brody King. Shout out again to Australia for continuing the trend going. I love that this is now a thing for Brody. I just love that this is the thing too. And again,
it is crazy to me that people want warm drinks, but it's amazing. I'm like, why don't we like cold drinks?
Yeah. I mean, you can get cold drinks. You can keep a drink cold without, ice in your drink. Yeah. I'm just saying.
People don't like ice in their drink, and I don't get it. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't like ice. I don't like ice on my roads because they make my car slippy.
Dude, so slippery. Ice is so dangerous. Ice kills people.
Yeah, it really does.
Oh man, it's like, so you got to have a good road crew, and we got to get the ice out of here. Okay.
Yes. Anyway, to the match. MJF obviously doing his thing like you normally expect. Him leaving the ring immediately because he's like, nah, I'm not doing this. Brody was chopping the fucking shit out of him. I loved when MJF was able to start getting some momentum in there, and he joked with the fucking kangaroo kick, which I completely forgot about, and then I was like, oh my god, he's doing the damn thing again. Brody was getting his knee focused on for a lot of the match. Obviously, the Giant having to fight through a knee tweaking when he missed the cannonball in the corner. MJF selling the clothesline and not being able to knock Brody off his feet was so funny, and then getting chopped to his ass. And also too, it was really cool seeing Bandito show up to try to like cheer him on. That was really, really awesome. It was physical. It was exciting. MJF obviously looking to do what he always does, get his Dynamite Diamond ring, and then he gets caught by Bryce Remsburg. But while he's being caught by Bryce Remsburg, he starts screaming at him, gets smacked in the mouth, and then he's getting choked over the apron. But then he starts biting the knee of Brody King and just focusing in on that continually. A pretty good tombstone, like using the strength on to hit the tombstone on the apron. And then he gets the Heat Seeker, and then a pretty definitive win for MJF. He was fucking around and trying to cheat, obviously, but MJF beats Brody King and retains the AEW World Championship. And it's confirmed now it will be Hangman Adam Page versus MJF for the AEW World Championship at Grand Slam.
So, about the match,
Yes.
I got a few things to say. As a person that was born in 1981, when you're about 4 or 5 years old in the Crockett area, they would take their face of the time, and he would come, and he may, in a tag match, pin Flair or, win the number one contender spot, and all up into the match, he'd get the best of Flair. Flair would chop him. He'd move out the way. He'd get the best of Flair. And then they build up to a Clash of the Champions or a pay-per-view. And that wrestler would do everything in their power. And then either Flair would win or they would go to a draw, but somehow Flair would retain the belt. Absolutely what this feels like with MJF right now. And I call him the modern day Ric Flair. And I want to be very clear what I mean. I do not think he's a Ric Flair clone. I don't think he works like Ric Flair You know, he's a heel, but I don't think he works like Ric Flair or anything like that. What I'm saying is he has Ric Flair energy. He is the heel you hate for two reasons. You'll hate him because he'll do anything to win, and you'll hate him because your guy can't beat him. And Brody King was that guy this time. He has dominated the scrubs. He beat MJF in less than 2 minutes. He's gotten MJF is scared of him. The whole chant has gotten popular. And I saw online, you know what would be really cool? You know what would be really cool? If they just pulled the trigger and go with Brody King. You know what's very cool? I'm starting to think they might go with Brody King. And then all the 24 hours up to it, I'm seeing this, and I'm like, oh, yes, this is what I want. Because the great thing about booking, when you have to do this with a bad guy on top, is giving just enough hope for people to know, even though they know what's going to happen, they get that glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, they go the other way. And then MJF breaks their fucking heart. And Ric Flair used to be the guy that breaks their fucking heart.
Yep.
And it's like, and you're like, oh man, you're rooting for the bad guy. No, I'm not. Because every one of these failures, every time your heart breaks, when that guy finally does it, it's going to be awesome. You get Sting getting the road up. You get Cody beating Roman. You get Sammy beating Gunther. It's this just monster moment when it finally happens. So all this losses, all this frustration builds up to that amazing moment. And it's just like you have to have someone with the charisma, the energy, the in-ring ability, all that stuff that you want to see holding your title. And that can be the foil to the other guy that doesn't mind not being liked. No one fits that better than the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion, MJF. I don't want him to be champion forever. Lex Luthor is not supposed to win. You have to find that right Superman to take Lex Luthor out. And he's coming. I don't know who it's gonna be. I have a good idea who's gonna be, but you know what? I'm gonna let the story play out before throwing out any predictions. We kind of know who the guy's gonna be, but God dang it, maybe now over the next few weeks, people are like, man, if TK's know what he's doing, Hangman's gonna win. Man, this is Hangman's redemption story. He's gonna beat MJF. Hangman's gonna get it done in LA, and that's what I want. Because that's what makes this so fucking good. Oh, my God.
It's awesome.
It's why I fell in love with wrestling. So when people hear me say it's really nothing against your favorite guy. It's just this was wrestling growing up.
Yeah, and it just frankly, too, like, I love Brody, and I love the buzz he's getting right now. Like, Brody's, like, between him and Darby, like in terms of male wrestlers on the roster, like those two are probably like at 1A, 1B for me right now. He's gonna get his moment to shine. Truly, I really truly believe that. And it's just gonna take a little bit of time. He needs to go on a little bit more of a journey because he's got more time to be able to grow and develop and just be able to lead to that moment.
Yes. I love that they flew Bandito. Yeah. All the way to Australia to be a cheerleader.
Be there for that.
Oh my God.
I was so happy to see him when he showed up too.
Yeah, apparently he has a broken finger. That's why he hasn't been working wrestling or whatever. He got to pull out of a show because he had a broken finger.
Oh damn.
So he's on the mend. So heal up soon, Bandito. But yeah, it was just like the idea that our boy TK to sell this story that he has his back, fly that man all the way Australia for that. God, it's God, I love him.
It's done so well.
Yeah, even
and it closed.
Even when he pisses me off, I still love him.
It closed out, and again, it closed out a great show. Dynamite to me had like top tier matches overall.
Yeah.
But again, this is a great show, and we're getting closer and closer to leading into Revolution. So like, the train does not stop yet. Too, we've still got a lot to look forward to.
I hope they hold Mox and Takeshita the Revolution. I mean,
Yes.
they can do it. They have been putting on a big match every week, so it very well could be in Denver or El Paso or any of these shows before then. But man, if they could hold Moxley and Takeshita out until March 15th, I would appreciate it wholly so much.
For sure. And then that's what we got from this week in AEW. For this week's Dynamite coming up on Wednesday, MJF and Hangman are going to be face-to-face. We're going to get the TV debut of the Brawlin' Birds, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor, and Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland. Sure more will get announced after this show comes out. And then, coming up next Sunday.
Yeah,
Revolution.
No, Revolution is March 15th, sir. So it's
Jesus Christ.
You still almost got a month.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
My dates are so wrong, dude. And it's truly just been...
Hey, that's what I gave. Earlier in the show, if y'all noticed, I started reviewing a match that wasn't the match we were reviewing. I don't know if you caught it, but it happened.
It is 2:25 in the morning right now, just so y'all know. Yes. And then the couple other things too I want to mention too, since they weren't televised. After the show went off the air, Fletcher did debut his custom AEW TNT Championship.
He has a pink strap.
He has a pink strap.
Belts by Dan. Got it done.
He screamed, "It's finally pink."
Yes. I would have liked the whole thing to be pink, but they went with the pink streak. I do. If they put it out, I'll buy it. I mean, it's that.
It doesn't
simple.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Pink belt.
And then, of course, the big thing was at AEW House Rules, and we had the debut in AEW of the Inspiration.
Because the Inspiration is iconic.
Yes.
I always, it's Jessie McKay.
Yes.
And
Cassie
Lee. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. They are the former Iconics from WWE. They have won women's tag team belts in every company they've been in. So,
and Cassie Lee is another example of the Australians weaving their way into my heart and making me fawn. Yes,
and Cassie Lee is just I always liked her. My friend Steve, he trained at Flatbacks, which is Sean Spears.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he trained there, and he got to work with Cassie Lee quite a bit. And he's like, she's so amazing. So. I mean,
both of them are amazing. I met them when we were at All in Texas for StarCast, and they were so sweet. Both Jesse and Cassie were unbelievably sweet, and I was always like, if they were in AEW, God, I'd be so happy to see them, and I'm so goddamn happy to see them.
Yeah, and I like my pro wrestling with a little sprinkling of sports entertainment. The interactions between the Babes of Wrath and the Inspiration,
bro,
are gonna be amazing.
That will feed children.
Yes,
it will be specifically booked for me and me alone.
Yeah, and then there's gonna be a bunch of people online that hate it, but I'm gonna be over there cracking up because that's what I'm waiting on.
Correct.
I mean,
anyone who hates that can kick fucking rocks.
Jessie McKay, dude, her timing, her facial expressions were like, when she was in WWE, were like some of my favorite things on certain shows.
Yeah.
So I love that they're in AEW. I love that we're bringing, this is not the type of act TK usually brings in. Because they do, even though they win, they weigh heavily on the comedy. And, that's not where he goes usually. So I would love to see them fit in there, and I hope they're used. And, that's the big thing. I just like, sometimes we bring people in and then they kind of sit on the shelf. Shout out a few people. I'm not going to name names at this point, but hi, Britt.
Yep. Hello.
Yeah. Some people just sit on the bench forever. And it's like, oh my God, why are we not using these people? So I don't want them to become that. I want them to be used. I want them to be in the tag team titles, maybe win the championship. I don't know. I mean, it's I feel like the women's tag belts, along with the trios, if you switch them a little more often, I don't think it's that big a deal.
I don't think so either. No, truly. I think it should be all good. But yeah, that's everything that we had from this week in AEW. And then also Lana Cross, obviously, with her making her debut as well on Grand Slam.
So three Australians.
Three Australians.
Yes.
All the Australians. I love Australia. Forever Australians. You can see the pattern with me. Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to do it, though, for this episode of All Things Elite. We touched on the Wrestling Observer Awards, so
I want to. There's a couple more Australians they need to sign. Charlie Evans, Miss Charlie Evans.
Okay. Yes.
She was at House Rules. She had a match with Mina Shirakawa. I just kind of like her energy. Just like I really do. I have not watched her wrestle a lot, but I just like when she's like cutting promos, talking, all that kind of stuff. I like her energy. And then Robbie Eagles. Robbie Eagles is just
okay.
Yeah. He was in a six-man match on House Rules. It was him, Hangman, and Brody King against MJF, Mark Davis, and Kyle Fletcher, formerly Aussie Open. And Robbie Eagles got the pinfall in Australia, and apparently the crowd went wild. I don't know if this is ever going to be available on tape or on anywhere, but they had from what I understand, they had a really exciting and fun show, and I guess they were doing like free attendance for people. So that's pretty dope. So just wanted to throw that out there before we get out of here.
All right, well, there you go. Yeah, and that's going to do it for this episode of All Things Elite, guys. Appreciate you, especially putting up for me and my tired ass as I was like bumbling and fumbling my way through this goddamn episode. We appreciate you still putting up with me. Hope you guys enjoy the show. If you enjoy the podcast, we appreciate if you guys show your support by downloading this show, whether it's on YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to us to. Give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. Rate, review, subscribe, turn on that downloads on. We're at AT Elite Pod on Twitter, and also be sure to support our guys at Social Suplex. They are at Social Suplex on Twitter. Got a bunch of great shows you guys should be giving a listen. I'm at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. Sign up for the Social Suplex newsletter, link in the description of the show. I will pass it now off to Floyd so he can take us home on this episode of All Things Elite.
I hope everyone had a happy Valentine's Day and a pressure-free Valentine's Day. It was funny. I was just having this really thought, and I'm going to get out of here really quick and not holding you. I was like, I kept seeing messages about the pressure of Valentine's Day. And I was like, Valentine's Day really doesn't have pressure. It's whether your significant other puts pressure on you to celebrate Valentine's Day. My wife, before she met me, had never celebrated Valentine's Day. Ever. It was just another day. She went to work. And then I came in and I made it a big deal for her, But otherwise, if I didn't talk about it, she wouldn't talk about it. She wouldn't think about it. It's 6 days after her birthday. She always gets stuff for her birthday. So she doesn't really care about Valentine's Day. So if you feel ultra pressure to make Valentine's Day special, don't get mad at the greeting card companies for celebrating this made-up holiday, which I like made-up holidays. They're fun. Get mad at your significant other for putting too much pressure on you. And ask them to make it easier on you next year. But it's a day. It's a day to celebrate love. And I don't understand how anybody could rail against a day to celebrate love, because guess what? I buy Valentine's Day gifts for people that I'm not dating because I just want them to know I love them. So you can do that too. And you can buy yourself something. You can buy yourself flowers. Do your thing. Whatever you feel comfortable with. But don't feel pressure of the day that's supposed to celebrate love to make you hate that day. That makes no sense. With that, I will leave you how I always leave you. Whether it's home, work, or school, always do your best to be elite.